This tour is to the Alsace region of eastern France bordering on Germany. Alsace is an important wine-producing area. It is a long strip of land between the Rhine River and a mountain range. French, German, and Alsatian languages are used here. On this map, you can see our home base in the upper right corner. We will travel to the lower center to Staufen in Germany, and then cross into France for the sites with the red dots. We will have 2 nights in Turckheim, France. The ruins of Hohenstaufen Castle sit above the city of Staufen, a historical medieval city. Staufen is especially well known for its wine. Grapevines are everywhere, including on the castle hill. This castle was built about 850. About 1,000 people can be sheltered inside the courtyard. The castle was destroyed roughly about the middle of the 30 Years' War in 1634. In the 11th century, this was the home of the Dukes of Swabia. Until this tour of Germany, I had never heard of Swabia. It is a large area of southwest Germany. The Swabian people speak several dialects of Swabian German, which is difficult for standard German speakers to understand, and vice versa. We had a very nice lunch of beer and schnitzel and went on to Turckheim. We took a couple of wrong turns. We would not want to do this drive without a Garmin or GPS. Coming into the city of Colmar, there must have been a dozen roundabouts. At one, as you see in this photo, the sign showed 3 exits, and the Garmin said, "Take the 5th exit." I think we went around twice and took the 5th exit. When we arrived in Turckheim, we found the streets so narrow and some of them one way, so we went around and around looking for our apartment street. We pulled into what turned out to be a driveway and had to back out with someone waiting. We finally spotted our street and realized that it was too narrow to drive on. Our host, Christopher, arrived a few minutes after we arrived. That door is the door to our apartment, and on the right, the photo, that is me walking away from the door way down there on the right, a very, very narrow street. This is a satellite view of Turckheim, and I've identified the very narrow street where we found our apartment. The apartment was very nice. Barbara had a separate bedroom with her choice of 3 beds. The house is 300 years old. Christopher spent a lot of time with us, showing us about the apartment and making suggestions as to what to see and where to eat. We walked around the town looking at all the shops and restaurants. There was a bakery about 200 feet from the apartment that we planned to visit for breakfast. There was a grocery store about 300 feet away, and we noticed that they do not sell bread, evidently because of the bakery in the area. We found a restaurant nearby and had dinner. Something new, galetti, G-A-L-E-T-T-E, a very thin buckwheat pancake with filling as ham, cheese, and egg. It was very good. Dinner was about $7 each. Our first stop for the day was to the Humanist Library in Selestat, France. The collection boasts of a large collection of books printed before printing presses, the oldest manuscript being from the 7th century. After finding our way there, we found that the library was closed for renovation and would not be opened until the next year. It would have been nice to be able to see some of those old books that were printed before the printing press. We found our way to the street market. Carnell and Barbara did a little shopping. It was a cold day and everything being sold was very much for summer. Our next stop was the Château du Haut Koenigsbourg. This is the most popular site in the area with over 600,000 visitors per year. Many of them were there the day that we were there. The first historical reference to the castle dates back to 1147. In the 17th century, the 30 Years' War did not spare it, and the abandoned castle was left to fall into ruins until 1899. The castle underwent restoration at the beginning of the 20th century. We rented the audio tour and walked around on our own. The restoration took 8 years, and they tried to be faithful to records they found so as to recreate the castle the way it had been. Most interesting were the stoves used for heating the rooms. You can see in these photos the green ceramic tiles on these large stoves. Fire in these stoves would heat the room much better than a fireplace. Our next stop was in the small town of Ribeauville, about 5,000 residents. We thought we were going to do some serious wine tasting here, but the 3 places we went into were more interested in selling wine than having us taste their wines. So we bought some chocolate and some cheap wine and headed on to Ribeauville, about 1,300 residents. Again, we were going to taste some wines, but decided not to look for those that would be serving, and we were growing tired for the day. These small towns are really worth the visit. We scheduled too little time here. One could walk around these communities for days enjoying the small businesses like bakeries, butcher shops, wine stores, chocolate shops, grocery stores, and clothing stores. The streets are clean, brick, cobblestones, and pavers. There are many restaurants with outside seating. Driving through this area, we saw small pockets of communities surrounded by vineyards. By small communities, I mean what appears to be 50 to 100 homes. This area produces only white wine.